Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are today. Thanks for joining our webinar today, hosted by Digital Nirvana. I'm Russell Wise. I'll be your host for the webinar. Today we'll be presenting the latest advances in MonitorIQ 7.0. This is the latest release of our award-winning compliance monitoring and logging solution that will provide even greater ability to review your broadcast content for compliance and quality. But even more, we'll demonstrate how we've coupled the power of AI with compliance monitoring to increase insights into your broadcast content. As we progress through the webinar, please post your questions so we can address them later. Digital Nirvana is known for driving innovation in two specific products and technologies. Over the past 10 years, we've deployed MonitorIQ to over 800 channels worldwide, used by marquee customers like Discovery, Disney, Viacom, and Turner. We've also deployed AI workflows to major networks, utilizing speech-to-text and machine learning. These workflows have primarily been used for generation of transcripts, captions, and translations for both live and VOD workflows. Today, we will show you how we've coupled the best-of-class compliance logging with AI capabilities to provide fast access, in many cases one-touch access to your broadcast content. The ability to easily clip and share content to facilitate collaboration from engineering to the executive suite. We have new functions to automatically generate reports and insights about your content. And finally, integration with AI services to empower new, powerful applications that drive content compliance, competitive insights, and better content quality. I'd like to now introduce you to Keith DeRosiers. Keith is Director of Solution Engineering with Digital Nirvana. Previously, Keith held this position at Volicon, where he's responsible for product definition and delivery to over 1,200 customers worldwide. Keith, take it away.
Thanks, Russell, and welcome everyone, and thank you for joining our virtual tour of Digital Nirvana's MonitorIQ 7.0. I hope all of you and your family are safe and healthy. MonitorIQ is a feature-rich solution which provides core engineering teams with vital insights into their content, but also provides essential features to many other departments within the media organization. Today, I'm going to highlight some of those key features, which Russell mentioned, that make MonitorIQ the best resource for locally or remotely viewing any aspect of your content. And under the current global conditions, being able to monitor your content remotely has now become a vital part of our everyday working lives. I also want to introduce you to a few new features which help automate everyday compliance tasks and empower your sales team to generate more revenue with our integration into artificial intelligence for competitive advertiser recognition. So let's dive into the MonitorIQ interface. After logging in, you will notice at the top of the page that MonitorIQ provides multiple pages or views to see and find content and any associated metadata. The viewer page, our initial landing page, provides a single interface for all recorded video and audio channels where end users can view live or historical content. The recordings page provides a listing of all recorded programs for all channels in chronological order. The clips page stores all user and automated system generated content such as video bookmarks and clips. The monitor page provides an overview of all channels being recorded and provides a single point of access to evaluate, compare all metadata, and the ability to quickly share, repurpose, and collaborate on content. The reports page is designed to automate the everyday compliance and monitoring tasks. Let the system do the reporting work for you. And along with the automated task is the integration with Digital Nirvana's AI portal, such as the ad report, which provides a list of advertisements shown on channels which do not have as-run integration, such as advertisements shown on competitors' channels. But more on that in a few minutes. Let's first focus on the current page, the viewer page. Here, we can monitor one or multiple live video channels, whether each channel is your own in-house channel or you're logging local or national competitors. You can see that all in one intuitive interface. Simply check or uncheck the video to open one or multiple channels by clicking on the boxes just to the left of the names. Now I can easily control video while keeping all open video streams synced in time with the advanced player controls located at the bottom of the MonitorIQ UI. Or I can drag the seek bar left or right to move backward or forward in time. I can also quickly navigate to any date and time using the calendar function. Simply click on the calendar function, select the date and time you want to navigate to, and all channels will quickly navigate to that time, all while keeping videos synced in time. Now, if an individual channel has multiple audio tracks, I can switch between the audio tracks using the audio selection drop-down menu. I can overlay different types of metadata on any individual video. I can also simultaneously create multiple video clips of all open video streams by clicking on the clip icon located at the lower right-hand corner of the MonitorIQ interface and using the mark in and mark out tools to define the start and end time of my clip. Now, everything I've shown you here are all standard features and more you expect from a compliance and monitoring solution. But the true power of the MonitorIQ's viewer page is the ability to compare either the same channel recorded at different points in the video chain or compare your main channel to your competition you may be logging. Now, a very common use case for monitoring the same channel at different points in the video delivery chain is for SCSI message assurance. Now, let's say you want to verify SCSI messages are propagating correctly from your SDI feed to your post encoder IP feed. Now, our customers will record the same channel from each source and use the SCSI graph to verify SCSI messages translated correctly from 104 to 35. And the graph displays SCSI messages received for each channel over a user-defined period of time. Now, the most common use case for comparing your main channel to your competition is to display a visual representation of audience measurement data. In North America, that could be Nielsen ratings. In Brazil, Ibope, or in Europe, it could be Canta. The ratings graph and display ratings data for each channel over a user-defined period of time and correlate them back to video for any program at any time. So the goal of the viewer page is to provide the user an intuitive interface with fast access to high-level content and associated metadata whenever it is live or historical. But what if you need to dig deeper into any single channel or program? With a couple of clicks, you'll have immediate access to any video, anytime, and all metadata associated with that channel or program at that time. Now, we provide several methods to access all metadata. You could click on the Recordings tab at the top of the page to bring up a full list of all recorded channels sorted in chronological order, and utilize the filter feature to narrow your search to a specific channel or a program. Or you could use that global super search function at the top of the page to look up channels by program name or keyword. Or you could click the camera icon to quickly navigate to a specific channel at a specific time. Now I'm going to use the camera icon to navigate to ABC at 1 o'clock on April 21st. So let me quickly select the channel and open up the calendar function. You'll see the program quickly loads and all metadata generated or captured about this channel and this program are one click away. Now, unlike other monitoring systems, I don't have to navigate to several different pages to hunt for specific metadata. This was one of the big gripes of the Volicon Observer. Users had to navigate to one page for SCSI triggers, another page for loudness measurements, and yet another page to create clips, and so on. MonitorIQ brings all metadata into one unified page. Users can see icons from all metadata is located at the top of the page and a simple single click away. So if I want to see or compare all subtitle information, such as closed caption 608 or 708 data, teletext, or DVB subtitles, it is all located here on the captions page. Maybe an engineer wants to review BS 1770-4 EBU R128 loudness data. A single click of the loudness tab provides all loudness data related to this program. Well, maybe someone wants to view SCSI 104, 35, or X31 or OP47 triggers and see the actual messages in human readable form. Again, all one quick click away on the Q triggers tab. There is also AC3 metadata, as run, traffic or schedule data, audio watermarks such as Nielsen or Kantar, imported audience measurement data such as Nielsen or Kantar or Ibope ratings data. There's even a tab to annotate video, which allows any user to create timestamp notes or tags or phrases to associate with any instance of video. And all metadata in each tab, whether it is extracted, calculated, or imported, all hyperlinks back to a specific date and time in video, which allows you to correlate metadata with full motion video. Now, one of the most important features of any good logging and monitoring solution is the ability to quickly and easily create clips of content from live or historic video. Now, every stakeholder within the media organization needs to review and clip content, whether it is for legal purposes, sales, to prove a commercial ad, review on-air talent, or to repurpose content. Using the frame-accurate storyboard empowers different departments to leverage MonitorIQ to collaborate and share content. So from identification to clipping to publishing content, MonitorIQ solution makes it simple for an experienced editor or a not so tech savvy salesperson to easily create clips and requires less clicks than any other compliance and monitoring solution in the industry. So let's say I am that not so tech savvy salesperson who needs to prove to a customer an advertisement ad. Well, the storyboard displays a thumbnail video for every 10 seconds. I'm going to quickly look through the content to visually find an ad. All right, here it looks like an ad for Sky Rizzy. So what I'm going to try to do is find the beginning thumbnail. So to do that, I'm going to expand the storyboard thumbnails for every 10 seconds to every second. Now I immediately see a difference between these two thumbnails, and I will expand the storyboard again to display thumbnails based on every frame of video to find the exact start of my clip. Now I'm going to navigate down, and I can see directly that the transition from program to the ad and the black frames in between. Now I'm going to quickly mark directly on the thumbnail, mark in to mark the beginning of my clip. Now I'm going to repeat the process to find the end of the clip. So I'm going to quickly navigate down. I'm going to look, these two look like the end. Again, I'll expand it from 10 seconds down to 1 second, and I can see the difference of these. And then I'm going to quickly again expand it from down to every frame and look for that last frame. And then again, oh, and there's the black frame between this ad and the next ad. I'm going to mark out directly on the frame. Now at this point, I've defined the beginning and ending of my clip. And if I want, I can mark any frame as the reference thumbnail for the specific clip. If I don't choose any thumbnail, the first frame will be the default thumbnail. Since I don't want the black frame as my reference thumbnail, let's choose one of these Sky Rizzy title frames as my reference thumbnail. Next, I can choose what to do with this clip. Now I can preview the clip, create a bookmark to collaborate with coworkers, or export the clip. Now, since the example is to prove an advertisement ran, let's email the clip to a client. I'm going to click on the export button and follow the tabs in a natural progression. The first thing I do, I have to give the clip a name. Now, we automatically create the name based on the date and the time, and you could choose any name that you want. I'll click over it, and let's call it Sky Rizzy for right now. All right. Next, do I need to transcode from the standard format to a different codec? MonitorIQ can transcode on the fly to many different common formats, but let's just keep it in the MPEG-4 because that's playable really on almost any device. Next, if there are multiple audio tracks associated with any channel, I can choose which audio track I want to include with the clip. The Metadata tab allows me to include any tags or annotations that will be associated with this clip, but also the ability to add a separate file to be included with this clip. Next, the Burn-In tab allows me to burn in any metadata, such as date and time, a logo, free text. Right? And then the Sharing button, allows me to the end user to upload the file to numerous destinations via FTP or to multiple shared network folders, or I can send it directly via email as a link or attachment to any recipient. Well, for this scenario, the salesperson would email the client, and I'll just fill out all the pertinent information, and lastly, click the Export Q button that you see at the bottom. And then the MonitorIQ solution takes over from here. The clip will automatically be emailed to the recipient, and I can keep the dialog box open to verify the progress of the clip, or I can close the dialog box, create more clips, or navigate to another page in the MonitorIQ solution. So with the frame-accurate storyboard, MonitorIQ makes clipping and sharing and collaborating on content visually quick and seamless for anyone in your organization. Now, the last item I want to cover today is the reports page. The reports page helps to automate everyday tasks or invokes Digital Nirvana's Media Services AI portal to derive data from video and audio where no other metadata exists. Navigating to the page, you can see 5 headings. Moving right to left, the first item is the loudness report. This is the first of 3 MonitorIQ automated tasks. The loudness report automatically calculates loudness values based on every entry in the imported ASRun log. No need for manually reviewing loudness values or combing through thousands of measurements. The loudness report also automatically validates each average based on dial norm and user-defined upper and lower criteria for pass-fail. Report columns can be quickly sorted by the column header, so to quickly discover any violations, and all results can be easily exported and archived. The second automated report is the QoE report, which automatically calculates the uptime of video, audio, and metadata per channel per day. This will give you a thorough overview of any events which occurred in the last 24 hours which impacted your customers' quality of experience. Uptime is based on video, audio, and metadata alerts configured by MonitorIQ by admins and triggered by issues detected by the solution. Video alerts such as black screen, no video, or static video, audio alerts such as low or no audio, and metadata such as missing closed captions all impact 100% uptime value of any given channel. Now you can quickly see the alerts which impact uptime and click on any event to see a clip of the alert and its impact on QoE. And similar to the loudness report, the QoE report is easily exported. The SCUDdy report provides a 24-hour report of all SCUDdy triggers or other trigger messages received per channel per day. An end user can quickly correlate receive messages between a channel recorded at different points in the video delivery chain, or correlate data back to Azure logs or scheduled data. And yes, like all the other reports, this report is also exportable. Now let's get to an exciting new feature, the ad and logo reports. Digital Nirvana's MonitorIQ is now formally integrated with artificial intelligence and machine learning portal to extract metadata from video that has previously not been possible with any compliance system. With the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning, MonitorIQ can automatically upload, or users can manually upload content to the artificial intelligence and machine learning portal. The AI media portal can derive and associate metadata with any program or clip of video. To generate metadata based on objects within any clip, AI incorporates object identification, such as facial recognition, to identify contributor, correspondent, and reporter appearances from aired shows, or identify faces in feeds and assets and assign values to that person. Object recognition to identify content that requires standards or clearance flagging. Optical character recognition to identify names, dates, and times, topics, titles, and general metadata to match with internal data. Or logo or advertisement recognition. After processing the video, the resulting metadata includes time codes for tagging, enabling search, and faster content retrieval. There is also a speaker identification process which identifies which on-air talent is speaking. To generate closed captions or transcriptions of programs which do not already include any subtitling or only has image-based DVB subtitles, or to transcribe post-air daily schedule program, identify keyword phrases, generate a summary to describe the asset, or translate English to multiple language and vice versa for limited content, the speech-to-text engine supports up to 25 different languages and will deliver a fully formatted document back to the customer, which includes timestamps relative to video. Digital Nirvana's AI-based automated classification engine auto-classifies content for better value. Common use cases include classifying incoming advertisements prior to first airing, using various labels to automatically identify and ingest ads, such as classifying ads based on alcohol, gambling, political, etc. Automatic classification of high points in feature-length videos. Classification labels will easily integrate into existing workflows. Now, the ad report feature incorporates the strengths of Digital Nirvana's artificial intelligence to automatically extract advertisements for one or multiple channels. The resulting advertisement only clip is processed by object recognition in the speech-to-text services to discover what product each advertisement is about. It will classify the advertisement as a Coca-Cola commercial, a Toyota commercial, or a Jack Daniels or a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial, and so on. And all that metadata is collected along with the date and time and the frequency of each occurrence and of each ad, and displayed here as a daily report per channel monitored. The output of the ad report provides media sales teams with the opportunity to target or national advertisers or local advertisers that might be airing more advertisements on your competitors' channels and generate more additional ad revenue for your company. Now, the logo report is another integration with Digital Nirvana's media services AI portal. A couple of our customers want to leverage the object recognition AI to produce a report of all advertisers' logos seen during high-value sporting events, such as soccer matches or other sponsored events. All metadata generated is timestamped and linked to corresponding video clips within the MonitorIQ. This allowed our customers to provide proof via clips to their advertisers or potential advertisers regarding how many times an advertiser's logo is displayed during any event, which again leads to additional ad revenue. Now I'm running short on time and I want to leave enough time for questions, but as you can see, the MonitorIQ is the right choice for your media organization. Now we will continue to design MonitorIQ based on customer feedback, which results in exemplary solution for all our customers. An intuitive interface and faster access to content and metadata with the goal of being as few clicks as possible. Better tools to clip and share content, faster and collaborate with others in the media organization or where anyone, no matter what their level of technical knowledge, can easily clip content. And now with the integration of AI, MonitorIQ is the new gold standard leading the way for compliance and monitoring loggers today and well into the future. So let me turn it back over to Russ for questions. Russ, any questions out there?
Sure, Keith, thanks for that. First question, how can I leverage cloud storage and computing for compliance applications?
Wow, great first question. But I guess this is kind of more of a three-part question. There's storage, computing, and also there's access to our cloud instance for microservices. So let me first take the computing. So the entire MonitorIQ solution can be 100% virtualized. Digital Nirvana was one of the first companies to virtualize their entire solution more than 10 years ago. So whether you have a private or public or cloud option, or maybe even your locally owned virtual hardware, MonitorIQ solution can run on any cloud or virtual instance. From a storage standpoint, we have an archiving feature which would be optional on other systems, comes standard on ours, the MonitorIQ. This solution, can use Amazon's S3, some locally to a SAN or NAS, but be able to not only be able to archive that content out, but also to bring it back in, which is just another kind of feature for the MonitorIQ. Usually when you archive off, it's kind of off of that session, off of that kind of compliance system, but we can bring it back in with all that metadata from an archiving perspective. And then the third real part is our integration with the Digital's media services, IQ, which brings those microservices such as speech to text, object recognition, and other AI-based services that help generate metadata for our customers' content. So that integration with the AI in the cloud is kind of just another computing metadata generation. I hope that kind of answers that question.
Yeah, very good. Here's another question. What input sources do you support on the device?
Yeah. Uh, I don't know if there's an input source we don't really support at this point. I'm really we can capture content from anywhere in the delivery chain, whether it's post-production, such as an SDI feed, or after encoder, which could be AI, I mean, IP, ASI, but it could be a DVB-S from a satellite, could be off air, could be post set-top box, HDMI component. That could also be from an OTT standpoint. It could be an HLS feed, but really anywhere from post-production to almost customer acquisition, anywhere in that video delivery chain we can accept natively too.
Okay, good. Can you give some information about the scalability of the system? How many channels can you support? And typically, what is the density? How many channels per server? Is there a way you could describe that?
Well, let me take the channel one. How many channels can we do? It's almost a limitless number of channels and users on the system. The way we've designed and architected the system, it's really just scales up almost infinitely because of the way the system's designed. But from a channel density on a per server, it's really dependent on the storage, how much storage that you want to put. Like I have customers that want to store content for 7 years. So that kind of limits the number of channels. Or if a customer wants to do full resolution of storing content, they want that output to be at 1080i or 720p at a higher bit rate. That can also impact the channel density on a per server basis. But again, typical, I see around anywhere from 12 to 20 HD channels per server, anywhere in that end. And then SD and HLS is exponentially higher.
Okay. Okay, this attendee says they have had a number of virus protection issues as it relates to Windows OS.
Yeah. Yes, the painful window. So that's kind of one a big differentiator for the Digital Nirvana MonitorIQ system. It's all based on Linux. So when you get those, those Windows updates that has to happen, those critical Windows updates that happen every Tuesday, it seems like, there's always a report of Windows having some sort of malware associated that kind of really doesn't exist in the Linux world. No people are really building out there. Hackers are building malware really targeted at Linux systems. So that's one critical, right? And updates for Linux are kind of what we call plug and play architecture, where Windows, you have to usually do a reboot, and any reboot means you're not recording your content. Linux is kind of a live plug and play, where you update that component, and then it just keeps working. The system keeps working. All the other devices and services keep running. And lastly, any virus protection that you want to put on a Linux box is really targeted to Windows type of malware coming into that box. It's not someone else that's writing some for Linux. It's usually, whenever I see IT departments put on virus protection for a Linux box, it's usually to protect it from Windows types of viruses or malware.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank our audience for attending this morning. Keith, thank you again for the presentation and questions. If you have further questions, on the screen we have an email address that you can address those to. There will also be a copy of the webinar that you can access. But thank you again for attending our webinar.